good. Basi tupo hapa katika majengo ya bunge jijini Nairobi. Kuna mengi zaidi ambayo yamekuwa yanajiri hasa kuhusiana na chaguzi ambazo zinaendelea papa hapa katikati mwa jiji kuu la Nairobi. Tumemwona kwenye vyombo vya habari, kwenye magazeti yameandikwa, lakini mengi zaidi atasema mwenyewe mheshimiwa. Huyu ni mbunge Gakuya na mengi zaidi ambayo atayazungumza kuhusiana na mchakato ndani ya chama cha UDA na vile vile Kenya Kwanza jinsi ilivyo na chaguzi hizi zinavyoendelea, akiwemo upande ule wa pili Johnson Sakaja ambaye ndiye gavana wa Nairobi. Nimkaribishe mheshimiwa ndani ya Mwaredi. Mheshimiwa.
Shukran.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Kuna mengi yanafanyika mheshimiwa. A lot is happening.
Na ni kawaida, mahali kuna binadamu lazima vitu siwezi kizonga. Yes.
Mheshimiwa, the big question is, why you?
Why not me?
Why you?
Why not me?
Kenyans want to know. The Nairobians are seated. They want to know why Gakuya.
One, let me see. I am one of the founder members of UDA party. And in terms of the current ongoing party primaries, I'm a bona fide member of the party. And therefore, I enjoy equal rights with any other member of the party. And for the purpose of my contest to the position of Nairobi County Chairman, UDA Chairman, I have equal capacity, equal freedom, equal chance to contest this seat like anybody else. Because that's why the party decided to take the party to elect to what we call primaries to the people, so that people can decide from the grassroots who will be the party's representing the party structure. And as much as the party structure is concerned, these elections commence from the polling stations. And at every single polling station, we have 20 number of delegates. All the way to the level we are. In Nairobi, we have concluded the constituency UDA elections already. All 17 constituencies has done their elections. We know who are the chairmen who took the positions of those 17 constituencies. And what is remaining is that this weekend was the earmarked date on 8th, which is Saturday, for the county chairmanship election, together with the lineup of the Nairobi County UDA positions. This is not going to be forthcoming, because as it was scheduled, the matter has been stopped, and we are waiting the head of state to come back to the country so that the party can tell us what is the next date of election, because it is, as matter stands, it was halted, and when the boss will come back, then we will be able to hear from him and know the reasons why his opinion was to stop the election at that level. We have come from far through all the stages, and all notifications has been obligated to the election board, which is UDA election board. As matter stands, Saturday, it's like we are not going to have elections, but we have done our elections very orderly from the bottom to where we are. Nairobi as a very critical city, we had no serious issues during the process. And I would say that the elections were electronic. There were a few areas of maybe failures of the machine, but I can tell you 95% elections were very okay. Even at the last election of the constituency, the party made sure that there will be also a manual list of members, manual list of candidates, so that if your name fails to appear from the gadget, then you can vote through manual. And therefore I can say it was quite democratic. It was done very fairly. The question is, my feeling is that, and I don't want to preempt what the feeling of the head of state is, but I'm sure he is aware, because he also works with intelligence. and is aware what is the possession of the Nairobi and the feeling of the Nairobi. And out of the outcome of that particular list, you can be able to measure yourself on the positions you have captured in the constitutional level. And out of the 340 delegates, that are requisite numbers to elect the chairman and his lineup on the coming county elections. Purely, we got 240 delegates, which is squarely a sizable number. And we can call ourselves the winner of the race, even before we cast the vote. Because nobody, before we cast the vote, because the votes will be done, and will be done by our teams. Then you know who are our team, you know where you have the 20 members, which constituencies are these, which constituencies you have chairmen within the whole city. And out of the 17 constituencies, we have captured 12 number of them, and we lost only 5.
Only 5? Only 5.
And that's how we are capturing 240 delegates.
Speaking of only 5, we understand what happened in South B. But the Nairobians want to know, they want an explanation of what exactly transpired. What was the commotion all about? During the date of the Stalehe constituency, the elections were scheduled to take place at South B. And the problem which emanated that particular day is that once you have 2 camps, one camp known as Sakaja camp, and then the other camp, the Kuya camp, then another returning officer must be guided by wisdom. That because we are talking with we are doing election with the gadgets, even when it's manual, you must have representatives of both parties, agents there, so that they can confirm that the boxes are empty before any vote is being put to that particular box. In this case, the exercise started when one party was on the site. And when the other party came in, they realized people were ongoing with voting. Then the question was, how could that process commence without agents of both parties confirming that the gadget was empty? Because the gadgets are fed by a human being, and you can feed everything in the gadget. So the question now is, how can we trust the process? And then the commotion came. At the end of the day, the election was stopped, but the election was done the following day, which was on Sunday, and they were done at the party headquarters, and it went through well. And that was done, and no quarrel in Stalehe any longer. So Stalehe is one of, if you want to check, you can check from the portal, the UDA portal, and you can confirm that Stalehe is already listed, done, and concluded their constituency elections. And I can tell you, hiccups are there, but I can tell you, in short, the elections, I cannot stand to say that the election board was not focused to their obligation. They did it very well, and it was quite excellent, because I can tell you 95% of that election was fair. Was fair?
Yeah.
Once you are an MP competing against a governor, tell us more.
As I said there before, we are in what we call politics because of visions. And every single leader has his own vision. I started from the bottom of the pyramid. I became a councillor. That was back 2002, and I served Nairobi City Council, then the de facto local authority, for 2 terms. But also I decided I would also want to crib the lander to the constituency representative. And that's how I found myself to representing Embakasi North constituency. The time also has come that I also feel I am capable of running the city. So as we speak, nothing can stop me from running the city, whether through the UDA ticket or any other ticket. But my vision cannot be stopped by anybody. This, we shall leave it to the people, because it's the people who decide. And let me tell you, in the party, I hope there is enough democracy that will allow everybody who is a member to settle his ambition, to settle his vision. And the time has come. I have matured to go to another level. It's my own to decide whose position do I focus on. But I think I can serve in any other capacity. I am also ripe to serve as a cabinet minister. So all these positions, the time has come that I have to look to either. So in the government setup, I'm ready, and I want first of all to conquer the city as the chair, so that we can have also a bargain as the capital city. This city, during the last election, we were able to give more than 600,000 votes, but in terms of the sharing of the cake, Nairobi was not considered to be given a single slot of cabinet minister. Even by that effort of putting the basket over 600,000, it's only Kiambu County, which was ahead of us, with 620, and we were the second with 600,000. So we thought, with that bargaining power of such serious support and big support, then it was obvious Nairobi to be considered to be given a slot of a cabinet minister. But it never happened. We only got one slot of a PS, who is Korir, at the Minister of Lands. So we, sitting where I am saying we were given a low deal in as much as the sharing of the slots were done. So we are saying it is now, first and foremost, we are now making the party formal. We are all aware that the party has been operating with what we call interim memberships of party officials. And therefore the time has come, the party has given timeline on how now to give the party back to the people who are the owners of the party. And we're in the process. What I am saying, I am not expecting to see any shortcuts, any bad motives ahead of the election. Only what we are asking the party is to allow Nairobi, and I am talking of Nairobi because I belong to Nairobi. I don't care how those other counties will want to handle themselves, but for the Nairobi, we want to have free and fair county elections without any interference, and we hope that the party will give us that, and we will be able to be peaceful, comfortable with the results if the process will be fair and free. We also don't want to see a time of what we call goal posting, changing of dates of election, giving some candidates an upper hand. We don't want to go to that direction. If a date is fixed, let the date be fixed, and we stand by that. But the party, at where we are, I am not comfortable with whoever made pronunciation of the election to be held until a certain unknown date. Because we are the candidate, we have spent, and nobody is ready to give us back to us what the election has costed us. So we would like to see a fair process, and we want to see a conclusion of this exercise.
If I may cut you short, do you think the elections were stopped following what happened at South Bay? No. It has nothing.
No. It has nothing to do with what happens at South Bay.
So what happened?
Because elections still went on within Saleh, and the results were out. It was only adjourned for a day. The following day it was done peacefully. This particular election, the party has all mechanisms, have all mighty of security. So if anybody feels that it cannot be secure, we can do our elections at Bomas of Kenya. We are guarded by security, and only allow delegates to get into that particular facility.
So do you think there is a witch hunt in this?
No, there is a witch hunt had. Me, I can watch and see a witch hunt had. And I can tell you, as much as we would like to fight for this party democracy, let us see and get consulted, because we are the candidates. But when things are being shortchanged and we are the candidate and we are not given a room even to be heard, then we are seeing a black card ahead of us.
So is there any material that was written to you, any information that was given to you?
Nothing, even to date, nothing. Even the party election board were supposed to communicate to the candidates. Nobody has communicated. There has to be an issue notification that the election has stopped. Nothing has indicated. This tells me there's a questionable move.
So who will win?
Issue to win, we are emphasizing, and I am emphasizing, give Nairobi a room, give us a date, let the delegates make their day. Whoever will win will be declared at that particular yard and ground that the election will take place. The delegates will decide.
Nairobians have just said that Sakaja, the governor, would have allowed a different candidate apart from him to contest for this. This follows the happenings that are here in the city. Like, he has a lot on his plate.
The discussion
issues here.
But I can tell you, we wanted that discussion, and that confirmation came before we started this process. And the Sakaja was invited in that particular sitting at State House. I was there with the members of parliament from Nairobi, including the head of state who chaired that meeting. And we agreed that Sakaja, he has a lot to do, and therefore he allowed those other candidates to fight on for the chairmanship. But whatever we agreed there is nowhere in what we call action. And this tells you, whatever we agreed there, it was not honored. And therefore, at this point in time, I cannot even a single minute encourage Sakaja to quit. I want Sakaja to stay firm, to stay put. I want to face him in the ballot. And I urge him, kindly don't leave it to anybody else.
You want him?
Yes, I want to face Sakaja.
But he has money.
Don't worry about the money. What is shaking you about the money? You think other people have a lot of money?
They say once you have money.
No, I can tell you for sure, you may find a very old tractor, but when it is in action, it is perfect. So nobody can ignore us.
Are you not scared?
By who? Sakaja ameanza kutafuta pesa juzi. Ile pesa ni ile amepora hapa juzi tu. Mimi pesa nimetafuta miaka na miaka. So I am not of his size.
Hajapora mwishi. Sakaja is working. Sakaja is traveling.
That's okay. But we have issues of Auditor General with the 90 billions which are unknown where they disappeared. So who is the manager? Who is managing that particular organization? He is the MD. He must tell us where are the billions. So you can't tell me that actually nobody anapora. It is known. Watu wanaendelea kununua manyumba Dubai, wanaendelea kununua manyumba London na kwingine. Na wakiwa kwa kiti tulikuwa na wajua. Even billboards were unable to pay for a billboard. Actually his campaign was done by the head of state. From the scratch to the head. He never financed himself a penny. Where do you want to tell me that he has got it for 1.5 years? That the fellow is a billionaire? But he don't care.
Mwishi, it's only the senator that is speaking. Senator Sifuna, the oversight. Where are the MCS?
Me, what I can tell you, the checks and balances in our constitution, it is vested to the county assembly. But when the assembly is compromised, then
so you're saying the assembly is compromised?
Then you can understand the obvious. You can just understand the obvious, because that it does not mean that we don't have representation. We have both the ruling party, we have the Azimio, well represented. We have over 100 members of the county assembly of Nairobi. But where are they? Where are they? The mess is being done when they're there. It's only one lie who talks. Nobody else. Lai, I think he's a member, an MCA for somewhere up there. He's the only man talking. The rest are mute. And that's how it works. No, because let me tell you, listen to me.
I think that Robert Alai is the only one talking because something has not been put in his pocket.
That's fine. But I'm asking you a simple question. This is an election. We are doing party election. No single member. It's only few. Those who are fully tainted that can stand to my camp. The rest, they cannot. And they are my good friends. Because they had a firm instruction. Once you are seen on the other side, then no, there is no single development to your constituency, to your county, to your civic ward. And therefore, those threats are there. Threats are done even to the members of county boards, especially RICA boards, and those other boards. If you are a board member, you cannot try to have an independent choice of you. You must toe behind the king. And that's the king we have in the city. But we can't blame anybody else. We can only blame ourselves. And that's what we are saying. Nairobi is now ripe for change. And this change is not any other beyond 2027. We must cross that bridge with that change. So whether Sakaja will like it or not, we are going to meet on the ballot.
Is the city safe?
We will wait today because whether it's safe or not, he's the governor. Unless he's impeached by the compromised MCAs, nobody else has power. But you know the obvious, with the king.
You just say compromised MCAs.
No. The king has mighty of resources, and obvious is the guys are well taken care of.
So it's for them to decide.
No, don't think that actually anywhere in the future you are going to find any impeachment emanating from Nairobi County. It's not going to happen. It's not. Anybody who has an independent mind will be threatened, even with the death. The rest will be compromised.
The UDA camp is shaking.
The UDA camp is not shaky. But what we are saying, our expectation when we got into this particular vessel, the expectation of us was that UDA is our party. And we expect that the party will bring what we call party democracy. And that democracy will be able to lead us to various number of generations to come. But I'm overseeing something different from my original expectation. Because where we are, if the party tried to do anything that is not reflecting the independency of the party, the freedom of members, and fair and free elections, then I am finding a situation where we are going to part very soon. Because you cannot build a party that you are not part of, that you are not recognized as a shareholder. This is it. And if they feel that the party belongs to them, no, they can still have it.
You want to become a shareholder.
This is something that I can tell you very openly, that everybody, you build, and you build a strong building because you are part and parcel of the building. That's why you direct it to be built a firm one. And that's why we built this party. And all of us supported it to win the election. But the election winning was not for few. It was all of us. So the cake has to be shared to all of us.
So you feel that you've been left out?
No. The signs of the time. The signs of the time. And we always read what we call the signs of the time.
But the deputy is speaking.
Don't worry. You may be speaking, but you are speaking because you are speaking just for per se. But as we stand, I don't want to blame anybody, but I am saying the party has an obligation to allow free and fair elections and allow democracy within the party. In this one, we must be all equal because we are all members of the party. We do not want to see any single element of people taking us from different sides. Any single discrimination is going to face the biggest protest in the coming days.
Last question, as you look at this camera, multinational companies versus the local ones. You are the chair. You just come from the meeting, and you directed that they only have a cup of coffee and leave. You have this camera. Can you start crying?
One, this is a departmental committee under the standing orders of the House, mandated to execute its business as per the standing orders and the law. Any invited guest must know how to conduct his or himself. Once you are invited and you are a guest, you must appear as a person. If you don't appear, the standing orders allows you to delegate with a written communication. And today, the three number of companies represented is only one which has complied. The others did not. And therefore, we found not right to proceed halfway. So we need to listen to all of them together. And that's why I have directed even Kenya Brewery, of which was officially invited, who did not respond, to be given a chance also to appear. So that as a team, we can listen to them, and then the members can be able to have a report to make after that. So that's the reason why I have just directed that we postpone and we fix another date so that they can come back well equipped, because questions will be raised on the floor, and those representatives, probably they don't have capacity to respond to some of the questions. And that's why we ask for the CEOs, who are the managers of these institutions. Their presence could be of very key importance to us, because they have the answers at their fingerprints. But when you second somebody, that somebody may not have the requisite answers. That's why we decided, let us give them 7 days, and then we listen to them all together. So the allegations ahead are very key, very important, because they are touching our local logistic association and also transport association, which is in one common basket. The allegations, yes, they are feeling that they are taken for granted, and the works are only given out to those multinationals. So we want to ask questions, and those answers, we get them, so that if there is a coup in what we call the law, then the committee can decide what kind of policies can be looked into to make sure that there is a protection to our local transport logistic team. Yeah.
Ni mheshimiwa wa Embakasi North, James Gakuyu Mwangi. Mwisho, I can't wait. Tuone Nairobi vile itaendelea.
Chonjo.
In the coming days. Umesema uchaguzi ni lini tena?
Tutasikia. The date will be given. But we are very ready for any date, even though it's small.
Hata wakisema next year?
We can